Well, it is the semi-finals of the Super Rugby this weekend. The Brumbies versus Jaguares, Crusaders versus Hurricanes. Who will we see go head-to-head in that anticipated final next week and ultimately become the champions of 2019? Well, we might be able to get a few Super Brew pointers from our guest today. He's definitely a familiar face and voice around these parts. Now it is also 84 days until the World Cup kicks off in Japan. We also have our very first dose of Japan 101 to get all of us in the mood. Now, if you're tuning in live on Facebook, please use the comment section down below. You can also tweet us at SuperSport TV with the hashtag SSRugby. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find all previous episodes on our SuperSport YouTube channel or find recent chats on Catch Up. But enough with the housekeeping. Let's go meet our guest for today.
I realized that there's a lot more to life as well than just rugby. Yes, I'm very thankful for rugby. It has prepared me in so many areas in my life, in so many facets: discipline, hard work, sacrifice, all those wonderful things. But I've realized there's a bigger picture that's waiting after this career. It's on to the next thing now. And all those rugby lessons that I've learned has prepared me for this life in a sense now. Whatever circumstance, whatever challenges you face, whatever trials and tribulations, there is hope. And so if surrounding yourself with the right people, knowing where you're going, setting out goals for yourself, you can achieve it. And that's the beauty of my journey that I've been on for the last 27 years. 28 years, 28 years, I'm getting old.
Yes, he is 28. He is a world-class athlete, son, and now media personality. Rick, hats off to you, man. Really, you have done so much. You've gone through so much, but not a victim of circumstance. It's really great to have you on the show.
Listen, it's absolutely lovely being here. It's lovely being a guest and not having directors in my ear.
Not having anything in your ear. I heard you saying earlier, I was like, I don't want an earpiece. I don't want an earpiece. For those of you at home who don't know, we have so many people screaming in our ear. We make it look all calm and stuff, but there's chaos going on in the background. Listen, I mean, like I said, you really have gone through tons of highs, but also many painful lows. But your rugby career, I mean, you played for some incredible teams: Western Province, EP Kings, Southern Kings, the Lions, just to name a few. And I'm sure quite a few highlights over your career. But what were the few that really made it into the books for you?
Listen, I've been very blessed and fortunate to enjoy a 10-year career and span, and it was just lovely getting to know people. I think that is throughout the 10 years, just getting to know the different players. I'm still in contact with a lot of my teammates, ex-teammates, and just getting to travel and experience the world. So that's the beauty of a rugby career. So I'm very fortunate, but it's lovely to start my new venture now.
Absolutely. Well, you did mention travel and going to see different places around the world. What are some of the best places you visited during tour?
I think the Australian tour was quite lovely. Yeah. I enjoyed Bris Vegas.
Bris Vegas? Explain this to somebody who doesn't know.
Yeah, so Brisbane was quite nice. It's just...
Oh, is that what they call it?
Bris Vegas.
Oh, what happens in Brisbane stays in Brisbane.
That's 100% correct.
Ooh, okay.
So really enjoyed it. Australia, very nice. You're getting to experience the city and the different... And then also, early on in my career, I went to Italy for some time as well. Just the architecture, the food. Amazing.
It's bellissimo.
Ciao ragazzi.
I love it. Okay, well, listen, we need to get a little more serious and a little bit more somber though, because I want you to talk us through the day you really decided, okay, this is it. I'm going to say goodbye to my professional rugby career.
Yeah, so it came at as you mentioned, it was a very somber time in my career, my life. My family has always been very supportive. They've been there from day one, especially as well my mom and my dad. My mom fell very ill at a very crucial time in my career. I was going through a bit of a transition. The Kings were not sure if they were gonna play Super Rugby or not, or Pro 14. And in that time, my mom fell very ill, and then I decided I think it's time just to prioritize my family at the moment, just to be there, support my dad and my brother. And
Ricky, not a lot of people would do that. I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a phenomenal thing, and people who know your story really respect you.
yes, and that's thank you, Lalla.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was to prioritize my family at the time, and I was just, my dad sort of took me through it. He's like, I think we need you at home for a bit, but you can go play again. So that was always in the back of my mind.
To go back.
I'm going to go play again. However, in that time, I got to spend a wonderful year with my mom. Unfortunately, she passed in September the 7th.
2018.
2018.
Yeah, condolences.
But it was just so wonderful to spend a full year with her. I've been out of the house since the age of 14.
What?
Boarding school.
Okay.
So I've been all over the show, and we travel a lot, like we've mentioned.
Sure.
So just getting to spend a full year where I was fully invested in my mom was absolutely amazing. And sort of somehow made up for the years that were lost. And that's when I decided there's more to life than just my rugby career. I'm very thankful for it, and I enjoyed it, I loved it, but it was time to sort of move on. And with that sort of feeling of getting to spend time with my family, quality time, in that time also new ventures started lurking, and I was very excited to start exploring that as well.
That's beautiful. You know, when they say, when one door closes, so many more open. Now, a conversation that a lot of athletes finally are starting to have is life after sport, right? And it was something that not many people thought of before, but you've obviously learned quite a few life lessons during that time. Are there any tips that you can share with current players right now?
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's quite a daunting time of your life. I think for 10 years or for your whole rugby career, you wake up every morning, you are so driven, you want to achieve things for the day, and then all of a sudden there's nothing anymore.
Yes.
You wake up and then you don't have a 3 kilometer to run, you don't have a certain amount of tackles to be made. So it was scary. I went through a lot of emotion at the time, just trying to find my place. What am I going to do next? Who am I actually without rugby? So those are all the questions you ask yourself.
Soul-searching stuff.
Big time. However, I realized, and I was very fortunate to find something that made me tick. Post my rugby career, being in TV, being in radio, it gives me that exhilarating feeling.
I hear you, but we're going to chat more about that in just a bit. Obviously, our guest Ricky has gone through so many ups and downs, but like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's take a look at more from that mini SuperSport documentary of our guest Ricky.
Post my career, I always said I want to get involved in radio or TV. Commentating sounded very good, and it was one way of staying close to the game as well. I wanted to create a story, tell a story, and I've been very fortunate. I've had some good people mentoring me. Guys like Brayton Paulser, Matthew Pierce assisted me with this whole journey and the transition phase. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Man, listen, you have been able to do something that a lot of people, or a lot of former players haven't been able to do. You know, getting that break into commentary and all of that. It isn't an easy feat, though. How was that transition for you? It's live, first of all. Can't make mistakes. We actually spoke to one of your colleagues, and she mentioned that one of the first times that you went on air live wasn't really smooth sailing, a couple of hiccups. Do you remember any of those?
I remember quite a few of those.
A few.
Yeah, but listen, it hasn't all been me. I've been very fortunate to have some amazing people that has assisted me on this journey in this commentating sphere, in the radio sphere. So it's really been phenomenal just to journey with some people. I mean, I've mentioned before, Brayton Paulser has been absolutely phenomenal in assisting with the nitty-gritty, Matthew Pierce, and also recently Hanyani Shamangi. I mean, he coached me back in the day. Yes, he coached me back in the day. So of the very interesting player-coach relationship, he's the first one to help me now with this commentating and everything else.
Well, you've definitely settled into it so beautifully. Love hearing your voice on our screens. You really definitely have that vibe, that energy, and it's great. Tell us, who gave you your first big break, though, because it does take quite a bit. It's who you know. It's not just about skill and talent. So TV, radio, how did you get your foot in the door there?
So concerning the radio, I was driving one day trying to sort out admin there in Cape Town, and I heard on the radio that they're looking for someone new at a radio station in Cape Town, and I was just like, this is possibly what I want to do.
Right.
And I sent in a little video of myself.
Okay.
Yes, I had to take that leap. Send in a little video of myself, and lo and behold, after a few processes and certain tests we needed to go through for a week or two, that sort of happened. And then in this TV sphere, especially here at SuperSport, two key figures, I think, important guys were Brayton Paul. So we often went for coffee catch-ups, and post my rugby career, we constantly chatted and stuff. And just one day he called me. He said, "Would I be interested?" And I said, "Yeah, I would possibly be interested." And he said, "Keep your phone on."
Wow.
And
just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Hey, when you know people, hey, and they can pull string. Shout out to you, Brady, with the power. Hey, that's fantastic. All right. Well, listen, as a commentator, and I didn't know this until I joined the rugby team, but I walked into, we were doing SRC, and we were out at one of the stadiums. I walk into the lunchroom, and there all you guys are. I mean, I think there was about 6 of you commentators. You have files this thick. You have laptops up. You have highlighters neatly placed. You have books, and you are writing. It was dead quiet. I thought you guys were writing an exam. People don't see this side. You have so much prep work to do. What is your prep ritual?
Yeah, so there is a lot. You are everywhere on the internet looking for stuff. You buy your little SA Rugby mad journal for the year. So you get all this stuff. And then I think the wonderful thing about the group of people that we work with, we're constantly sharing information with each other. So, I mean, you're sitting down, you are typing up. I'm very old school, so I type out my stuff, but then I write it out as well.
Yeah.
Because I love writing and seeing what I do, highlight it, and then it starts, as the weeks progress and as the games progress, it starts getting easier to sort of formulate which player, because you have to identify, especially if you're doing like schoolboy matches or varsity cup.
You've got to remember the names, you've got to remember the positions.
So it's a bit hectic, but a lot of research goes into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's definitely a big job. You are serious about winning in life. I mean, you're a coach of rugby. I want to chat to you about that in just a bit. You also MC, you're a motivational speaker. A lot of people look up to you, including the people that you work with at KFM, and somebody that I think you hold dear in your heart too. He's got a couple of words to say to you. Let's take a look.
Hey Rick Schroeder, what an incredible career so far that you've had, what an unbelievable path, and here you are on one of the best channels in sport in the world, SuperSport, doing what you love best, and that's presenting rugby. Wishing you all the very best. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch your journey so far, and yes, wishing you everything of the best for the future, my man. The future is bright for you, you're an amazing talent, and like I said, wishing you everything of the best for the future. Rick, been a pleasure to be a part of your journey.
Ryan O'Connor, what a great guy.
I'm tearing up here.
You were getting emotional now. What is your relationship with him, and how has he influenced your life?
Listen, a real special person. He's sort of a mentor to me there at the radio station. Almost like a father figure. He's taught me the nitty-gritty of just being in the radio sphere, and I mean he's a legend in this industry as well.
Absolutely.
So it's just great. I didn't expect that message at all.
Oh, bless! I can see you getting a little teary-eyed. I love the fact that you have those people that you look up to, because I think that is extremely important. Now, a lot of kids look up to you. You're a coach as well, among all the other things that you do. You're very passionate about producing Springboks. That's a big responsibility. What is your philosophy as a coach?
Yeah, I think every young boy wants to be a Springbok rugby player, wants to represent South Africa in that green and gold. But for me, and just the journey I've been on in my life, I've realized that there's also, as I've mentioned earlier, there's more to life. And for me, my philosophy, I coach at a school at Milnerton High School in Cape Town, and for me, it's creating better men, creating Springbok sons, creating Springbok dads one day, to be the best version of yourself when you step out from the 4 lines. So that is really my philosophy, and I'm very passionate about these kids. It really gives me life. I mean, I've got a very busy schedule, but just going to them, to training sessions, seeing them perform, seeing them get better week in, week out, and not just on the field, but just with the interaction with people, that really makes me tick. And that's, if I can do that, then job done.
Wow. Ricky, you're so great, man. You're really inspiring me even. So, you know, one of the big things that you are also known for is fitness. Do you condition your boys the way you condition yourself? Because I've got to be honest, I don't see a lot of former players look as good as you.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Lalla, I don't know, they must work hard. They must work hard. I really put it to them and give it to them. But no, it's important. For me, fitness and just living a healthy lifestyle is very important, because I've realized, and that I have to thank my rugby career as well.
I mean, look at you right there on Instagram. You post a ton of these fitness photos, and I'm sure you I mean, look at that. 6-pack, 8-pack, 10-pack, 12-pack. Hey?
If you look good, you feel good. And you just live it out. So
wow.
That's for me.
Listen, your DMs must be lit, is all I'm saying. So we did some serious Instagram stalking, obviously. Besides all those amazing photos that you put, you also have a great relationship with your red Speedo. We're not going to post those photos due to BCC SA regulations, but we also found that you have a beautiful long-term girlfriend. You call her Nala, but her name's Dominique, right? Yeah. Tell us about the relationship. She's held your hand through all the ups and downs.
She's literally steered me into the direction I'm now into, because I'll never forget the day we were actually driving. I mentioned earlier that we were driving, doing some admin. She told me, Rick, if your rugby career comes to an end now or in 10 years' time, you are still going to be confronted with this. Yeah. So she's literally pioneered me, pushed me into, in a positive way, into this new sphere into my life. So I'm just very thankful to her as well. And yeah, she's currently in Australia, doing some work there.
Wedding bells?
Easy, Tiger.
Hey, you see, guys don't like to be put on the spot. That's okay, but listen, just FYI, Japan is a great honeymoon destination. If you want to use that info, use it, don't use it. But listen, actually, speaking of Japan, Rugby World Cup, it's going down in my home country. Have you ever been to Japan, first of all?
No, I haven't.
Do you know anything about Japanese culture?
Japanese mayo.
Japanese
Sushi.
Oh, okay, mayo, Kewpie mayo, the famous.
Yes.
There is more to us than mayo. Oh my goodness, Ricky, this next insert is definitely for you, ladies and gents. Of course, the mysterious world of Japan. Well, it's a big topic at the moment due to the Rugby World Cup, and we have our very first episode of Japan 101 to get us all in the vibe. Let's take a look. Ricky. Of course, is a big talking topic this year for a very important reason. So we thought we'd explore the culture with you and dive into some of the traditional activities. So here we are at Sankawa Dojo to learn a little bit more about Kendo and maybe learn some moves. Ja, ikimashou!
Kendo evolved from the samurai fighting traditions, where they started looking for safer ways to practice without needing to hurt their opponent or get hurt themselves. So protective armor were developed. The shinai was created so that both opponents could fight each other with full contact techniques and not harm each other.
For me, it just becomes a way of life, you know. It's like everything that you learn while in training, you want to take it outside with you and say, these are the characteristics that I've built up through the training. I've learned how to work hard. I've learned how to have diligence. I've learned how to really push myself to the limit. And then you take that outside and you really try it that way as well.
So talk me through it, because it's actually quite a lot that went on here.
The actual clothing that you're wearing on the top is called a Kendo gi, and at the bottom we're wearing a hakama, which is kind of pleated pants.
Right.
Right.
Actually pretty cool.
Then on top we have something called a do, and this is a body protector.
Okay.
And then at the bottom you have a tare, which is a lower body protector. On the top we have a helmet called a men, and that protects his head, but also his throat, so he receives a strike to the throat. Then on his hands, he has something we call kote, and those protect his wrists and also hands, maybe when he's clashing.
And then over here, what am I holding?
You are holding technically a sword.
Okay.
Right? But really we call this a shinai. It's made of bamboo, 4 slats of bamboo, and this is what we use to do kendo with.
Now that we are basically ready, I think it's time for battle. Will you show me some moves? Are you ready for the ninja?
Bring it on.
They're not ready for the ninja. They're not ready. Good
Please
one.
demonstrate. Cut to their head.
Hey.
Hi. Ich. Hey. Son.
I'm lethal, baby.
That's actually pretty good. Cut number 2 to the wrist. Kote. Ich. Hey. Son. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Badass.
Cut number 3 to the torso. Do. Ich. Nee. Son.
So this ninja's just picked up a brand new skill. Now I feel like I'm unstoppable. You find me in the streets, you better run because now I am kendo-fied. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for teaching me. I'm stress-free. My boyfriend's safe tonight. I'm not gonna be trying to break any sticks on his head. I've done the damage here and it's been awesome. Guys, should we bow out?
Hey.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。Yeah, man, look at me with the Japanese swag. That was absolutely so much fun. I gotta be honest though, I mean, I did learn a couple of things with the stick, but nevertheless, you give an angry woman a teaspoon and she will make that thing work, let me tell you. Have you ever done any martial arts?
Listen, I must first of all say you are very good, and I'm very scared of you now. Eh?
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Very scared.
I'm glad. I hope all the men in the studio are thinking this time. I'm kidding. So, have you ever done anything?
No, I haven't done anything.
Martial arts.
No.
But Japan is really amazing. They turn anything into some kind of form of art. It's really beautiful, whether it's tea ceremony or just hitting somebody with a stick. There, you know, it's an art form. But speaking of form, how is your super brew form?
It's been challenging this last couple of months.
Gosh, dude, it's been so unpredictable, man.
So inconsistent.
Where are you standing on the SuperSport commentators pool?
I think I'm 23rd out of 40. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Just
I think it's a pass. I think it's a pass.
Yeah, you are like 47. At school, 45 is a pass, so you'll pass. You'll pass. I want to get your views on Jaguares versus Brumbies in Argentina.
So I think the travel for the Brumbies might be a little bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
and the Jaguares have been absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
They've played really good rugby,
Right.
and I'm really hoping to see them in a final.
Right.
I'm really hoping.
I'm actually too. Okay, Crusaders versus Hurricanes in New Zealand.
The Crusaders, they've been dominant.
So, consistent.
Yeah,
right?
but they've been dominant. They've been the team throughout the years, the championship side. So I think I'll go for the Crusaders as well.
Out of interest, who do you want to see win the entire tournament?
Jaguares.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
Underdog almost next to the Crusaders, right?
Love an underdog story.
Love an underdog, absolutely. I'm with you on that one. When are we going to see you in action again?
So this week, coming week, the 1st till the 6th, I will be at Craven Week in Bloemfontein.
Nice.
So very excited to see the youth, the younger generation rugby players come through. So yeah, it's exciting times ahead.
Indeed, it is. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a true inspiration. I'm feeling quite inspired, Ricky. You're such a great guy. There you have it, ladies and gents. Make sure you catch him in action for Craven Week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure that you catch us on SuperSport 1 at 7:30 tonight as well. Until next time, have a great weekend. Goodbye. Well done.